Hello, universe. So, welcome to episode 2 of my Hopkins study journal. Tonight we were exploring, I should have said good evening, everyone. Tonight we were exploring methods, research methodology. So, if you are not a researcher, if you are like, what is this world about? What's going on? Like the world of research and stuff like that. So like there's different ways to research, right? So we call that research methods. Just a little learning moment. I don't think I can help it because of my teaching background. If you are familiar with research methods, then you're probably thinking like, Slade, tell me more about that. What did you learn tonight? So I have just some like main takeaways, and I was looking back at my notes and I was like, and I was thinking, oh, like this might be kind of a short video, so just a little entry today. I think my main question that I'm going to ask is around internal validity versus external validity, and I was relating that back in my brain to contextual research and generalized research. So contextual research happens within the context of, right, like within a context. So we research. So I'm researching morale within the university setting. That's my context. And I might be able to take generalized research from other institutions or organizations or things like that and apply it to. I think an example of that is how oftentimes people are saying that we should apply generalized research from the business industry to higher education and academia. We don't do that. But people are talking about that, right? So I was interested about this idea of internal validity and external validity. So the note is, right, that when an experiment isolates, internal validity is when an experiment isolates a causal connection between two variables, eliminating all other explanations. And then external validity is when results of a study can be generalized to a broader population. And so quite literally, right, is that you do your research study. This is in quantitative research. Go look that up because this isn't where we're going to explore that exactly. Just really quickly, quantitative, right, is cause and effect. What is the effect of a given cause? What's the cause of a given effect? If you're like, that sounds very confusing, it is a little bit. And then how do we mitigate a given effect by manipulating like a given cause? So if that sounds a little bit like it is a little bit, and I'm sure that Wikipedia could give you a way better definition, but this is more of just a journal and a place of exploration and to just talk it out. Okay, so back to this idea of internal validity and external validity. So the example that they gave was with internal validity, it is, does the treatment work or what are the effects of the treatment, right? So in a given study or in a given research project when you are exploring an intervention. And then external validity is, can you apply your findings to other settings? And so anyways, I just thought, oh, does that also link to contextual research versus generalized research? So for all of you researchers out there who know the answer to that question, I welcome your teaching me and guiding me on this journey. So the thing that I think hit me most of all was when we got into ethnography. Okay, ethnography, right? So to describe other human beings within the context of their culture and their world, right? Just it's really like it's observation, observing some of the things, right, that they talked about is that there's just pure observation where you're carefully observing others' actions. There's participatory observation where you're observing while participating. And then there's interviews where you're asking detailed questions of those involved in the actions and interactions of being observed. Anyways, the reason why this hit me so much and why I thought it was so interesting is because I'm curious to read and explore and study the ethnography of higher education. And those who have, I think, mostly observed and then participated and observed. So I am curious about the interview part of that too, but because I think a lot of my problem of practice, so my problem of practice, just as a review, because it's only episode 2, my problem of practice centers around morale in the university setting, and particularly what affects morale, or what contributes to low morale within the university setting, specifically my university setting. And I'm also interested to understand if there's anything within socioeconomics and social class that affects that, I'm going to talk about the danger of me like being all over the place here in just a second. But anyways, I think that ethnography is going to play a major part in what I'm doing, because the reason why I have the question that I have, which is what contributes to low morale at my university, is because of my observation and my participating in observing. Because what I'm observing and what I feel like those in maybe higher positions are observing, I think that they're different, and I'm not sure I understand why there are incongruencies. I mean, I have ideas, and I think it's linked to socioeconomics and social class, and that's what I want to understand better. And I think that ethnography, I didn't know this beforehand, but I think ethnography is going to be a part of my journey. So I'm actually kind of excited about that piece of observing, and this kind of background in anthropology and the history of it. And so I don't know, it just was like, oh, that sounds exciting. Okay, so in one of the videos that we watched, the speakers talked about question drift, where your initial question morphs into something new by the time you finished your research. So Loki, as my students would say, my question has already experienced some drift, and it's only like day 3, so here we are. Here we are, question drifting. So I'm looking to definitely solidify my question before I really get into the research, because, because first of all I have to, but second of all, because I really want I want my question to include this piece of social justice and socioeconomics and social class. Like, I really wanted to include that. And so I want that to be in there from the outset. And right now it's not in there. Like, I'm just asking the general question, which is what contributes to that. And maybe those of you who are like, oh, Slade, it totally can be a part of that. Just keep with this really simple question, which is what contributes to low morale. But so maybe as I say that out loud, that totally makes sense. But anyways, I want it to be a part of that. So whether it has to be part of the question or not, I don't know. So question drift, it's a real thing, and I'm experiencing it in the beginning. Excited about ethnography and how I can learn more about it in the academic setting, the academia setting, and understanding internal validity and external validity more fully in the days to come. So I hope that you're all well, and I don't know who you are, but as we go on this journey together, maybe we'll get to know each other better. So have a great night. I'll see you next time.